call this meeting of the Common Council to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Schrader.
Here.
Mackey.
Here.
Teeter. Here. Tully.
Here.
Fire. Here. Niles.
Here.
Holmberger.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, we'll entertain public participation. We invite anyone who would like to address any issue to come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. There will be some opportunities there will be an appointment to fill the unexpired term of Alderperson Josh Larson, and we will offer an opportunity for the candidates for that, or the applicants for that position, to have some comment after this. But if there is anyone else that would like to address anything, now is your time. Please state your name and address for the record, Sally, please.
Should I come forward or just
If
stay?
you don't
Stand
mind.
at the podium if
Yeah,
you'd like.
if you don't mind.
My name is Sally Zentz. I live at 719 Hill Street in Jefferson. First of all, thank you for all you do to serve the citizens of Jefferson. I know it's a tough job. You give up all your Tuesday evenings to take care of our city's business, and I appreciate that. I was at the Parks Department Community Workshop on September 22nd, along with about 60 other citizens of Jefferson. The vast majority of us were very dismayed that we were not allowed to discuss alternate sites for this 16,000 square foot playground that's proposed for Stop and Bot Park. This is in spite of the fact that Alderman Schrader had posted to the Jefferson community page on Facebook on September 16th that alternate sites would be discussed and considered at that meeting. That did not happen. Stop and Bot Park, like many parks in Jefferson, needs some TLC, that's for sure. You could upgrade the current playground, put in some equipment that would be inclusive for everyone, repair and update the existing bathroom. It needs it badly, but maintain the charm of the outside structure. Keep the volleyball court, preserve the mature shade trees and the green space. If there's a demand from the citizens of Jefferson for a 16,000 square foot playground, it does not belong in Stop and Bot Park. Rotary Park is one possible location. The city already has big plans for that site of the Tyson plant, which is adjacent to Rotary Park. Locating this playground where the Tyson parking lot is could be ideal. There's parking nearby, bathrooms, a beautiful band shell, a concession stand, plus it would be located right in the heart of downtown Jefferson, near shops and restaurants for out-of-town visitors. Another possible location is at the corner of Wisconsin Drive and Collins Road, near the site of the former countryside home. There are acres of flat, dry land right on a bike path, close to the Highway 26 bypass, which connects Jefferson to Fort and Johnson Creek. Most importantly, it's on the west side, near many apartment buildings, full of kids looking for a place to play. Currently, this land is owned by the county, but I would propose that the city could approach the county regarding a partnership for a city-county playground and park. This could be fiscally advantageous to the city because you would then share the cost of the creation and maintenance of this playground. These are just two possible alternate sites. There may be more, even better ones. How will we know if you don't allow the conversation? Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
There will be, based on the input that was received that night, and we really don't have a notice for discussion tonight, Sally, but I could just tell you that based on the feedback that was received that night, there's going to be a revision to that park plan, and that will be considered by the Park and Rec Commission, and that will also be a public meeting in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one, I have a couple of communications that I'd like to share. First of all, Nestle Purina, one of our great employers in Jefferson, is celebrating the opening of their new expanded Line 3 this Saturday with a special open house that the public is invited to. There will be a program at 1:30 with some official remarks, and then plant tours throughout the afternoon. If anyone is interested, that's at 111 Plymouth Street at the Nestle Purina Pet Care Factory. Also, we have Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce has a kind of a fun promotion recognizing some of the top things that are made in Wisconsin. And so it's kind of structured like the Final Four, and in the Final 16 is none other than our own Kikkoman products. So if you were so inclined, I would encourage people to go to the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce website. You can vote on this, and it's like a regular bracket. So if you'd like to support one of our local businesses that's just getting started by recognizing Kikkoman, and of course our new facility is going to be open soon, and they also have the facility in Walworth. Finally, I received a communication about some property maintenance concerns on, I think it was East Washington Street, and those concerns are being addressed by the Jefferson Police Department and and the local neighbors. And so if anybody has any questions about it, how they're being addressed, Chief or I can address that with you. If there are no other interest in public participation, we'll move on to resolution number 49, a resolution accepting the resignation of an unexpired term of Alderperson Joshua Larson. Alderman Tully, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Opperman, City of Jefferson, Resolution Number 49. Whereas the mayor and city clerk recently received notification that Josh Larson has resigned his position as Alderperson at large prior to the completion of his term of office. Now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson is to solicit letters of interest from qualified candidates to fill a vacant Alderperson at large seat for the remainder of the term, which expires in April of 2026. I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Any questions or comments? If not, we do so thanking Alderperson Larson for his time of service. All in favor signify by saying aye as your name is called, and all if you're opposed.
Alderman Mackey.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Meyer. Aye. Niles.
Aye.
Holmberg.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next, we'll move on to a discussion regarding that vacant Alderperson at large seat. Interested persons have submitted after publication letters of interest, and we're going to go through the people tonight and give everybody an opportunity to, first of all, we're going to call you up one by one and ask that you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us why you'd like to serve on the City Council, tell us how you could be helpful on the City Council, and any other relevant information about you. And then after you've had an opportunity to share that with us, we'll open it up for questions for any of the City Council members. So could you please go through the list and pull all that random stuff?
Yes, so,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
After all four candidates have had an opportunity to share some information about themselves, we're going to take a ballot amongst the 7 sitting council members, and until we have a clear majority of 4 out of 7. So if we have that on the first round of balloting, well, I'll ask for a motion for approval of that candidate. If it's less than 4 for any candidate, we will remove the candidate with the lowest number of votes until we get down to 2 people and then a majority of 4. Is that clear? Okay, all right. Sarah?
We did receive 4 letters from, one from Corby Stallman, one from Craig Schott, one from Noel Wilharm, and a 4th one from Pat Rice.
Okay,
And I did try to contact all of them and let them know that they could come here today to, that this process would be happening, how it would happen, that they'd get a chance to speak to all of you, and then we will take a vote.
okay. All right. Mr. Stallman, mind coming up to Corby, come up to the podium?
I'm gonna read this, I apologize, otherwise I'll say like 37 times, so I'm just gonna read it.
That's okay.
Good evening, Mayor Offerman and council members. Thank you for considering me for this appointment. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Corby Stallman. My wife and I have lived here for approximately 20 years. We're active in the community and love this place we call home. I believe an alderman's role is to listen, represent fairly, and work together for practical solutions. If chosen, I'll be accessible, collaborative, and focus on what is best for our city. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have any questions of Corby?
How are you involved with the community?
We're in Gemütlichkeit. We help out with a lot of stuff with the Downtown Association, with selling stuff for Gemütlichkeit and working for different events down there.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
Mr. Stallman, what is your occupation?
Engineering technician at Bobcat.
Are you available days if meetings
Yes.
and things occur?
Yes, my schedule is very flexible.
Okay. And do you currently have you ever had any experience in any type of an organized government or civic group?
Just Gemütlichkeit, just as a board member at Gemütlichkeit.
Okay.
And your Tuesday afternoons are available, or Tuesday evenings are
Yes.
available? Thank you.
Why are you interested in being an alderperson?
It's actually interested me for quite a while, and with all of my Gemütlichkeit responsibilities, it just would never work out. And this year, my wife and I are officially done with our official Gemütlichkeit stuff, so I thought now was the perfect time.
Corby, if you were not chosen this evening, would you consider running?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
And if, just something, what would you think Jefferson needs? If you would say, just what would you like to see?
I guess the most is, the big hot button topic right now is parks. I live right across the street from the public pool, so
Gotcha.
I have an interest in parks just like everybody else. A place for families to go.
Corby, what do you think is the most important thing, or put it a different way? What's the best news that's happened in Jefferson in the last couple of years?
The expansion, the industry, it's amazing. I just reading the Journal Sentinel, it was what, $750 million has been in Jefferson County in the last 5 years. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good questions. Anyone else?
I know the hot button thing about transparency for the park. I will respectfully disagree with that because I know how many opportunities there were to be involved. Is there any other area that you think that we're not?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
What is something you would say we need to improve on, or what would be your pet idea of what needs to be worked on?
In the city? I really don't have anything. The only things you hear is everybody's complaints, the second city streets and You know, I don't know if that can be more open or more transparent, or if people just need something to complain about, but it'd be interesting to see it from that side, to see it.
Thanks.
Good. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Corby. Next, I'll invite up Greg Schock.
Hi, well, thank you. Well, I seem a little nervous, I'm surprised at that. I'll prove that in a little bit.
Just friends and neighbors, Greg.
Yeah, no problem, friends and neighbors. About 7 years ago, maybe longer, I had convinced myself that public service is something I was no longer interested in. That's for other people. It's not true. Public service, public policy is part of who I am. It's just me. I served as Sullivan Village president for over a decade. I left that position about 18 years ago and moved here to Jefferson. I think that I have a unique situation where I can go back 18 years and look at decisions that I made that influenced public policy over the 12 years that I was there. And I can use those thoughts to rethink my thought processes and institute them here in the city of Jefferson. I think, based on some questions, if I can deflect off of those here, the industry has been a big thing in Jefferson, along with the revitalization of Main Street downtown. From rumors that I've heard, there's going to be more businesses coming to town, which means more people, more infrastructure. The future of Jefferson does look bright. There's going to have to be considerations, obviously, with infrastructure and housing, things like that that will play a big role in this community. I'd like to be a part of that. I'd like to make those decisions today that will affect Jefferson tomorrow. The last thing I want to talk about is I want to be clear. I'm going to assume everybody has my letter. So the second half of my letter deals with availability. Some of you may know, most of you may not, that I'm a high school basketball official. And I sign 45 to 50 contracts every year to do that. That will take time away from here. I've given you specific dates that I think I can find a substitute to take my place. I want to be clear, that's not a guarantee. I'm not saying that I can do that. I will miss dates. There's no way around that. It's something I've been doing over 20 years. I enjoy it very much. I feel obligated. I feel a responsibility to those contracts to fulfill them, and I will continue to do so. I have virtually a full schedule for next year as well. So it's something I enjoy doing. I feel a responsibility. I enjoy youth sports, and I'm going to continue to do that. So I just want to be clear about that. There are no guarantees that I can get out of those contracts. Thank you.
Any questions of Craig?
I thank you for being upfront about that, and I see that you have put down that you have a contract that you absolutely couldn't get out of at least one meeting in December, and you would be missing one meeting in December and one meeting in January, and you also have a second meeting in December. You would have to find a substitute and a second meeting in January. So essentially, if you can't find substitutes, you wouldn't be at any meeting in December or January.
That's true. The date that I believe, I feel fairly confident, again, I don't want to make any guarantees or promises. December 2nd, I have some close people that I work with who are open that day. So I feel that that would be the day that I for sure could get rid of. The other dates, again, I would make the attempt, but I can't promise that.
And then also one meeting in, I believe it was
February, probably, yeah.
So that's, that is a concern, that's half your
Sure.
schedule in December, January, and February.
Absolutely.
you know, quorums are needed or are needed.
Yep, understood, yeah. That's why I wanted to be open and fair
Yeah,
about that.
and that-
It's a big deal, I get
Thank
it.
you for that.
Yeah.
You're available daytimes?
Yeah, yes, I'm retired.
Good for you.
Thank you, win-win, I love that. Highly recommend it to anybody thinking about retirement.
You get extremely busy when you're retired.
Yeah, you do.
I know that,
But,
Anyone else?
Yeah, Craig, what are you most proud of during your public service with the village of Sullivan?
Interesting question. I kind of gone through some of those questions in my head before I came. I should have left that up to Jim to come up with one that I didn't think of.
I'm a tough cookie.
All right, so I was fully open, conservative Republican. I kept an eye on the budget. It was very tight in that. I feel that there's a big difference between needs and wants. And the budget was something that I kept a close eye on. I'm proud of that. We took the fire department. They were having issues with fire trucks that get old, and of course, funding a fire department in a small community like that is difficult. I took the trucks and I put them on a rotation, and we ended up doing leasing. We leased the fire trucks, we put them on a rotation, where we could get a new 10-year leases, but we staggered that so that every 5 years we could get a new truck. I felt good about that. That took a lot of stress off that department. So those are probably two big things that we did. Other than that, it's small town. I mean, you pick up the garbage, you plow the roads, and things are pretty peaceful for the most part. As far as administrative wise, it's not that it's unsimilar, it's less formal, but I think the issues are the same, just at a smaller, lesser level.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Craig? No? Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll invite Nora Wilhorn. Okay, she wasn't able to make it tonight. All right, Mr. Pat Rice, please welcome. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Just to clarify for everybody up here and everybody out there, all 4 candidates were contacted and invited to appear tonight, right?
they were, yes.
Encouraged to appear. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Rice.
Yeah, I actually don't know whether I was invited or not, but as I looked at my letter, I realized that I didn't leave an email address or my cell phone number, so that the bad isn't on Sarah, it's on me for that. So, well, hello, and thanks to the Common Council for allowing me just a couple of minutes here to speak with you. And after I'm done, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. My name is Pat Rice, and I live at 334 East Dodge Street. If I look out my front door, I look directly at the edge of the left field fence of the ballpark. So I get plenty of opportunities to watch ball games there. Occasionally I get to get a baseball in my front yard. I think I've got 4 of them. So, I'm ready to start my own team. I've now lived in Jefferson for all of 16 months. So make no mistake, I'm a newcomer here. I know that. And let me first say that I'm a very happy newcomer. I love it here. I've got great neighbors. It's one of the things that I like most about Jefferson, and that you notice immediately when you're here, is it's a safe city. You don't feel like you have to be watching your property all the time. Partly because you've got good neighbors, but partly because it's just a safe place to live. And I love that about Jefferson. I'm not involved in any committees. I've only been here 16 months, so I am a newcomer. I have taken an interest in the city's business, just sort of on the periphery. I think I've had a little correspondence with Ms. Copsey on the issue of when the utility bills were split, just to try to have an understanding of why that occurred and those sorts of things. I'm a longtime member of Anytime Fitness. I go there virtually every day. Not to brag, but I think I can outrun every one of you in a 5K. Old as I am, I think I can still do that. You know, really my interest in becoming in filling the Alderman at Large position when I realized that it was open is kind of twofold. I want to contribute to the community. I live here, I plan on staying here. My professional background in a different way, I was always very involved in the communities in which I live. And I also think that I do have a background and some skills from my experience that could be helpful to the Common Council and to the city of Jefferson. I grew up in Wisconsin. I went to grad school at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and then I spent about 38 years all over the country as a journalist in various capacities. The last 20 plus years that I was a journalist, I was the executive editor of 3 different newspapers. The last one for 12 years was the Daytona Beach News Journal in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's a sizable newspaper, about the size of the Wisconsin State Journal. So I have a lot of experience in journalism. I was a member of the First Amendment Foundation Board in Florida. I was a member of the Florida Society of Newspaper Editors Board. My experience in journalism really gave me a lot of opportunities to be involved in the communities in which I served, and especially in Daytona Beach, where I was for 12 years before moving back to Wisconsin. I've moderated literally dozens of political debates, everything from a governor's race debate, Congress, state legislature, county council, city council. I've really kind of done all of those things. I've spent a lot of time moderating community meetings related to projects that the newspaper tried to delve into on just all variety of issues. Issues that fortunately you don't really have here in Jefferson, like homelessness. In Daytona Beach we had a severe homelessness problem. And so that experience, as much as anything, and by the way, I've sat down with literally hundreds of public officials, either in editorial board meetings, in private meetings, over dinner, and those, you know, we didn't just talk about public policy, but a lot of it had to do with just that, public policy issues. So I think that that granted me a significant amount of experience about public policy and just how difficult it is to be an elected official at any level. You have problems that you have to solve, challenges, and no matter how you resolve them, you never make everybody happy. But I've learned to understand and to ask good questions, I think. I will tell you that I'm not a know-it-all. I've only been here 16 months. I can't imagine that I know nearly as much as everybody else here about the issues that face Jefferson. I do know that Jefferson has had some great success on economic development. I mentioned it already. I do know that it's a safe city, and I think when you talk about, like, why do people want to be somewhere, I think that's like, you know, issue number 1 or number 2. It's right up there with, do we have good schools and those sorts of things. I think there are 3 things that, the first thing that I would do is I think I would just be a good listener and try to ask good questions. And I would try to focus, I guess, my learning on 3 areas. One is how taxpayer dollars are spent in the city of Jefferson. I think that's, these aren't that these aren't like number 1, 2, or 3, but I think that that's always an important issue. I think the next issue is economic development. What is the city doing to create economic development? I think if you're not focused on that and not focused on growing, then you become a sedentary city. And then the last thing is quality of life, and that, that's everything. Parks have been mentioned, but it's also, again, public safety. It's things like, when you think about economic development, it's not just about bringing in new manufacturing. It's about your downtown. And is the downtown as vibrant as it should be? And are there ways to make it more vibrant? Those are quality of life issues. And all of those things, I think, are something that ends up in front of a common council at some point or other. The final thing that I would say is I think one thing being a journalist taught me is that I understand communication. And I think sometimes even if you feel like you've done everything you can to be transparent and to communicate, sometimes there are opportunities to, for lack of a better phrase, over-communicate so that people know what issues they ought to be interested in. You're not going to fill all these seats every day with people who are interested. It's just people have busy lives. But when there is something that's of high interest, I think I do know enough about communication to know how to at least make suggestions as to how to get in front of it, as opposed to wondering if people are upset about something and you feel like you communicated maybe where areas could have been handled better, for lack of a better phrase. Final thing, I'm mostly retired. I work about 8 hours a week delivering drugs to group homes. That's an eye-opener. If you haven't been to a group home, it's worth it to just go, just to see why those facilities are so necessary and the people that they take care of. But I do that about 8 hours a week. Being here on a Tuesday would never be an issue for me. That's it. I've talked too long. I'll answer any question you might have.
How is it that you landed in Jefferson 16 months ago?
Well, it's a good question. I came back to Wisconsin. I had wanted to, pretty much my whole career, come back to Wisconsin. There's really no place like it. And so I came back, and initially I was up in Neenah, because I have family up in that area. And I rented a condo and kind of took a look all around the state. Not all around the state, but like the Stevens Point area, because I know that area a little bit. I grew up around Sheboygan, so I thought about that. I didn't want to live in a big city. I did want to live near Madison and near Milwaukee. And initially when I looked, I was looking nearer to Madison, actually. And if I wanted to tag about 200 grand on my home, that's where I would have ended. But I thought, I'd rather spend my money on other things. So I looked, and there was this nice home on East Dodge. I looked at probably about 100 different homes, kind of down in this area. And I saw that one, and it seemed like a good deal. I didn't know when I bought it that I'd have such good neighbors. I've got the best neighbors in, I'll put my neighbors up against your neighbors. They're so good. But that was it. I wanted to be down kind of near Madison, and so I selected a home in Jefferson.
Pat, you talked about communication. We used to have somebody, a reporter from the newspaper and the local radio station here for every meeting.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those reporters. In what way would you communicate with the public?
Yeah.
Considering that those mediums are not available to us anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a demise of local journalism. Just exactly that sort of thing is, is, I think, made it more difficult for every city, not just this size, but even larger cities, places like Janesville or Beloit, to communicate with citizens, because it used to be exactly that. People would show up and they would not just cover the meetings, but if there were public issues, they would cover them. So I think it's like, and let me tell you something, it was no fun being the editor of a newspaper the last 5 years I was the editor, because I spent a lot of my time laying good people off. It was just the nature of what technology's done to the industry. I would say the number one thing would be to sort of, for lack of a better phrase, take on that role. Obviously, a city can't be an objective observer of itself. You know, you just, I mean, you like to think it, but it just isn't how it works. But what you can be is a provider of information. And I would say, just looking at, just glancing at the website, the city's website, and what you can or can't find there in the way of, if you want to go watch, you know, video of a recent meeting, that sort of thing. I think there are great opportunities there to just communicate better on the front end of issues than you know, perhaps is there right now. And that's not to knock anybody. I don't think anybody's, I don't think there's a, you know, it's not an issue of people not wanting to be transparent or something like that. It's an issue of how do you communicate about what's going on out there ahead of the curve as best you can. And I think that would be where I would focus, is sort of where people get their information, maybe on social media. I don't think you want to go on TikTok or you know, Instagram. Instagram's kind of a dead social media now anyway, but you know, maybe, you know, to take more opportunities on other social media, although that's a slippery slope. It's, as I learned myself.
Thank you.
Well, we have cable, and we thought, I mean, really, not everybody has cable. We do have people that watch us on cable, but a lot of people have Dish or DirecTV, or,
Sure.
you know, not everybody has cable. I don't know if there's another way we can get that
Yeah.
out.
You know, this is just a personal experience, and I don't know if I spoke to Sarah about this, but I spoke to somebody at City Hall. I was looking to watch the meeting about Stop and Bop Park. And just so you know, I don't have a big dog in the hunt on Stop and Bop Park. I understand the concerns that a lot of my neighbors have, but I don't know enough about it to know what I think. So I wanted to watch that video, and there's a spot that says that on the website that said, you know, here's like video of city council meetings. And I went there, and I think the newest one at the time that I looked was in 2022. So there weren't any that had been posted. And somebody from, I don't know who it was, told me, yeah, we're behind. Our IT department hasn't had the time to get those things caught up. And then they explained to me where I could watch, and it turned out it was on Facebook somewhere, and then there was one other place where it was. But it wasn't the city's site, it was somebody's, you know, private Facebook page who had recorded it. I think that's a good example of just those things, you know, it's 2025 and that's easy to do. And I think those are the kinds of things that, communication things that might help the city.
We have to get up to speed.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think you'd run in the spring if you're not chosen today?
Yeah, absolutely. I got it all planned out.
Okay.
I'm good. You know, it's all, what did, who was it who said, all politics is local? he was the Speaker of the House, Skip O'Neill. All politics is local, and it's true. It's about door-to-door retail politics. I mean, if you really want to turn out the vote, that's what you gotta do. And it just so happens I now have time to do it. And I got a lot of energy.
Any other questions from the council? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Rice. Appreciate
Thanks for your
that.
time. And I just want to say finally, whoever you select, I listened to two of the other people who are interested, and they seem like really good people, so I don't think you're going to make a bad choice.
Thank you. Okay, so have we distributed the ballots to each one of you? We'll ask you to mark the vote for one, please, and pass those over to Sarah. She'll tabulate them, and then we'll have numbers and proceed accordingly. I'd like to just weigh in and say that thank you all for showing interest. We appreciate that. We have many good candidates, and this will be good for the city. And we would encourage everyone to take out papers in December. That's the first week in December. It opens up for the spring election. We take out papers. It's a citywide position, so you have the opportunity to go around and get 50 to 100 signatures to get on the ballot. If there's 4 alderperson positions available open in the spring and the mayor position, and if there's more than 2 candidates for each position, there will be a primary in February. If there's less than that, so if there's more than if there's 9 or more candidates for city council, there will be a primary. If there's 8 or less, there will not be, and then the top 4 vote getters are elected to the city council. And of course, the mayor's position is, that's a separate position, so if you want to run for mayor, you take out papers just for mayor or just for city council. So that's the procedure. Sarah, do you have a total?
I do. And we don't have 4 for one.
Okay.
Ask everyone to vote again.
Okay. And we have 3, 2, and 2. Okay, well, let's take another vote. Jim's,
They all
If
have.
I'm asking, are we excluding someone from the?
Yes.
No.
well,
We
no,
are?
no, because,
We have 3, 2, and 2.
There's a tie for second place.
Oh, there's 4 people, it sounds like one person did not get. any
okay,
votes.
so that's the person that did not receive any
Correct.
votes will be eliminated. And the 3 remaining are Corby Stallman, Craig Schock, and Pat Rice. So please vote for one of those 3. Good question. Counselor?
So who saw Conclave? We're now locking the doors, no one is allowed
Again?
No, it's, we have the same outcome, but now it's shifted along. So we still have 3, 2, 2.
Okay. Counselor? Our advice?
Don't look at me.
Everybody's got one more ballot, can we try it
Yeah.
one more time?
Yeah, we were going to eliminate the one that got the fewer votes, but that's hard to do.
It's because there's still 3, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
Suggestion? Just vote for second, vote the 2-2. And then, so the one who got 3 is in, and then have a runoff between the 2 and the 2.
We just have one sheet left, should we just try it one more time?
Sure.
Now we'll have three.
As I said, we have good choices, so.
Yeah, that's,
No, we got
Maybe you don't like
too many good candidates.
This is riveting TV.
It's the same there, because the 2 and 3 are the same.
What?
Tally 2 and 3 and it would be the same.
I vote for the
Mr.
same
Mayor?
one for 3 times.
Mr. Mayor, I was going to suggest a similar thought of have a runoff between the second and third place, and then you'll have at least, well, as long as everybody votes, you'll have a...
Well, I just changed my
Okay.
because I thought that would help.
It's just a thought. I mean, I don't know if that's a good way to do it or not.
Okay.
As another alternative, I don't know if this is the best one.
What's that?
We go to discussion and openly make our case for who we would like to see. That might change some minds,
Okay.
break the deadlock. That's just, again, that's
How
just a
do the
suggestion.
council members feel about that?
I could go to tally number 1 and tally 2 and 3 and tell you who the top 2 are. Out of those 3 tallies, you can vote between the 2.
that's a
No,
thought.
I don't think
They're the
that's...
same on 2 and 3 are the same on the top, and then 1 was one different. So one person only got 2 all 3 times.
So the top 2 are always the same?
Yes. So the last 2 tallies, the top person is the same, and then the first one. So the lowest one has only 2 votes on each 3 times.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to Mr. Schrader's suggestion, and I'll ask, we'll go around the council members and offer comments for your preferred candidate. Start with Joe.
I picked Corby. I thought both of you were great. With your scheduling conflicts, I think that would be an issue. And I think you're great. I just think you're new. And I've known what Corby has brought to the city for a number of years.
Okay. Hey,
I guess the scheduling issues was a big concern for you.
Craig.
Craig. Okay. And Pat, I voted for you because you were new, and it was between you and you two, and because it was hard for me, and so either one, because you're both going to run, so I think both of you would be good. So it was very hard, but I'm going to say I would pick you.
and just,
Colby.
just for the record, I'm sorry, Corby.
Corby.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I voted for Craig Schott, for Mr. Schott. I know him personally. That was a big plus for me. I know the scheduling conflict is it's real. There's lots of other opportunities other than just Tuesday nights, which you are going to be available for. I like that. It does appear that you're going to work to try to compensate for some of that. I like your experience at Sullivan very much. Mr. Rice, very interesting man. I enjoyed your speech a lot. He seemed like a super smart guy. The whole, like Joe said, you're new here. Does he really know how things run yet? You know what I mean? And Mr. Stallman, you two were very qualified, but we had to pick one.
Okay. Toby?
I picked Corby, and again, with all three, I would be happy with any one of them. I just felt he had a good feel for everything, and that's why I went with Corby.
Okay. Lauren?
I was torn between Corby and Pat. Pat, mainly, great speaker, you were entertaining. I feel like being the journalist background might be good for maybe some, helping with some communication things, but yet new to the area. But I think my first pick would be Corby.
I would be comfortable with any one of the three. My vote was for Craig. I've known Craig for many years, going back to when I was on the Board of Education, and he was a village president in Sullivan. I know him to be collaborative, and this is important. I know that he looks at issues in a forward-looking and high-level manner. And to me, that's crucially important. So my choice is Craig.
Okay.
Again, just not to parrot everybody else, but I think all three of you are highly qualified and would be great choices. I think each of you brings a different gift to the table. I was inclined to support Pat because of the journalism experience, the communication issue, especially in light of some of the things that have happened recently. I think communication is something that we could beef up better. I liked your ideas about using social media, whether that's YouTube or Facebook, in addition to what we're doing with cable. I think that's something that's important for us to do, for communication to be placed out there for the community, to be able to hear what's going on and know what's happening, so that input can be heard by us. So I supported Pat.
Okay, well, I think you all made good points, and we did, so let's take a poll one more time. If I'm tallying this correctly, 4 people just spoke in front of in favor of Corby, 2 in favor of Craig, and 1 in favor of Pat. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We're going to pass out the ballots again, and please ask you to vote your conscience. You don't? Okay, well, we'll make more of it.
I could just write it down here.
And again, thank you all for expressing your interest.
Very good. Do that.
Tell that it's an emergency.
Oh boy, you get ready.
I'll tear mine in half right away in case we go different.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe one more. They said they could just write it. Can we just write it?
It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, yep.
Oh.
I do have 4 for Corby. It's 2 for Craig and 1 for Pat.
We have
Okay. I'll ask for a motion then.
Mr. Mayor, I move to appoint Corby Stallman.
Second.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Once again, I think all three of you are great, and I hope you run in the future.
Okay, on a roll call vote, all in favor of the motion to appoint Corby Stallman to the position, please signify by saying aye as your name is called. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Teeter. Tully.
Aye.
Fire. Aye. Niles.
Aye.
Hohenberger.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Matkey.
All right.
Okay, it's unanimous. And thank you for making this, for your, not only your interest, but for making this a very difficult decision for everybody around the table. That's indicative of the task that we have here. And I do want to just put in a plug for the annual budget hearings are public meetings, and we strongly encourage you to attend, because we got a multi-million-dollar business that we run here, and we are fully transparent about how the money's being spent, how much money we're putting towards road maintenance, and the frustrating thing from our perspective is nobody shows up at the meetings. So we encourage you to get involved, stay involved, and by all means, take out papers to run for office in the future, because you would all be a great asset to the community. So without that, we'll turn it over to City Clerk Copsey and ask Corby to come up.
So
We'll
next you have
administer
a
the
cheat
oath
sheet.
of
I'm
office.
going to swear you in and ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Take that written test first.
You raise your I, please state your name,
I, Corby Stallman,
have been appointed to the office of Alderperson at large.
having been appointed to the office of Alderperson at large,
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the municipal code of the City of Jefferson,
and the municipal code of the City of Jefferson,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you, congratulations.
Get to work. No pressure.
No pressure. Thank you so much.
Remember to put your phone number on the city website.
Oh, absolutely.
You're officially on duty. Okay, thank you. Now, I'm going to bring back this, do this fairly quickly with the due reverence that is intended. We did consider this before, there was a few things to tweak, so I'm just going to read this again. It's a proclamation of the City of Jefferson, whereas Sister Grace Schultz is the heart and soul of the mission of St. Coletta, Wisconsin, and had professed her vows in August of 1955, 70 years ago. And on October 11, 2025, Sister Grace will be 90 years young. And whereas Sister Grace, during her early ministry, was known as Sister Eucharia, works full-time at St. Coletta. She is well known in the Jefferson community, especially for her volunteering as a reader at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church, her blood donations, and living in Jefferson for over 52 years. Whereas, since 1955, Sister Grace has been a leader and educator and a pioneer in the field of special education. She has dedicated her time and talents to the individuals who live, work, and attend programs at St. Coletta. And whereas her dedication started in Jefferson from 1955 to 1964, when she served the Villa Rita group home on the current site of the Jefferson Golf Course and the bakery. From there, her calling sent her to the Lieutenant Joseph P. Kennedy School in Palos Heights, Illinois. In 1980, she returned to St. Coletta, where she was employed at the Coletta James Group Home in Madison. Currently, Sister Grace works in the Human Resource Department and the switchboard in Jefferson. She's the first one into the office in the morning and can often be found checking in on the weekend. Her tireless devotion to people and her belief in individual achievement inspires us, all of us, to support the individuals of St. Coletta with compassion, dignity, and respect. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, and on behalf of the citizens of the City of Jefferson, it is with gratitude and appreciation we invite the community in congratulating Sister Grace Schauf for her 90 years of service to St. Cloud, Wisconsin, and to the city of Jefferson, and we designate Thursday, October 9th, 2025 as Sister Grace Day in the city of Jefferson. And this has been endorsed by City Administrator Freitag, myself, and all the council members. And it's a secret, but we're going to have a parade for her on Thursday. So if you'd like to honor Sister Grace in person, there will be a short parade at the St. Coletta headquarters at 9:30. I think gets underway on Thursday of this week, the 9th, on Sister Grace Day. So, thank you. Next, we'll move on to adjourn to a public hearing to discuss the ordinance to adopt amendments to the City of Jefferson Comprehensive Plan. I'll call the public hearing to order and read the notice of public hearing passed by City Administrator, by Clerk Copsey. Okay, we are reconvened, and at this time we'll read the public notice of public hearing by the City Administrator, please, for this public hearing to discuss the ordinance to adopt amendments to the City of Jefferson Comprehensive Plan.
City of Jefferson public hearing on amendments to comprehensive plan. Notice is hereby given that the Jefferson City Council will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, 7 October 2025 at 5 p.m. It's 7 p.m. The meeting will be held in the council chambers of City Hall, 317 South Main Street, Jefferson, Wisconsin. The public hearing will be held to gather public input on proposed amendments to the City of Jefferson Comprehensive Plan. The comprehensive plan sets the policy for the growth, development, and preservation of the community. The proposed amendments would affect approximately 6 parcels of property located generally on in the northwestern portion of the community. I won't read the parcel numbers. The property owners are the Spangler family and the Pitzner family, located again generally around the Jefferson County Fair Park. And in just a minute we'll put up a map and you can see which 6 parcels are being discussed. This notice was published let's see if I have that here, in the Daily Union on September 5, 2025. And just as a general comment, this is one of those very strange notices. It requires 30 days advance publication. Most of the things we do don't require that 30 days, but to amend the city's comprehensive land use plan statutorily, it does require a 30-day notice.
Thank you. Okay, and Chip, can you give, please, an explanation of the amendments to the comprehensive plan? Chip, can you give us summary of the?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, I'm just going to wait a minute to bring it up on
all right, I'm sorry.
the monitor. There you go.
All right.
On the monitor, the 6 parcels of property that we're talking about are bordered by that blue line. 4 of the parcels are currently in the city of Jefferson. 2 parcels are located outside our corporate boundaries. The most northerly parcel in the town of Astalon and the most westerly parcel in the town of Jefferson. Again, on these 6 parcels, there's 2 ownership groups. The vast majority of the property is owned by the Spangler family. The Pitzner family owns the most westerly parcel located just adjacent to the State Highway 26 bypass. The owners of the property are requesting an amendment to the city's comprehensive land use plan, so the city is not the applicant, the property owners are. Our current comprehensive plan was put in place in 2020. Since 2020, it's undergone one amendment, similar to what we're really talking about tonight. So I would not say it is a typical occurrence, but from time to time, we do have requests, and I'll explain the significance of the requested change in just a minute. The property is identified in the city's comprehensive land use plan, both the 4 parcels inside the city and the 2 located just outside the city. Identify the future land use of this area's planned neighborhood. So that means the property at some point in the future, right now it's farmland, can and will develop for residential and mixed-use purposes, some commercial activity that would support neighborhood development. Most of the area out along the bypass carries that planned neighborhood designation. In this case, the 2 property owners are requesting a change in that designation, again from planned neighborhood to general manufacturing. So the significance of the change is that in Wisconsin, the city could not rezone a piece of property if it's in conflict with its comprehensive land use plan. So at some point in the future, if this change is made, the property owners could request a change of zoning. Right now it's agricultural or rural holding, but they could request a change to manufacturing. So what I will say is that from time to time, there has been interest from manufacturing companies to develop the property for manufacturing purposes. The property owners are interested in, I suppose, setting the table for that to happen at some point in the future. And if that should happen, then I would imagine if the amendment is approved tonight at some point, they will ask for a change of zoning to manufacturing, which would permit those manufacturing uses. I would say the process that may culminate tonight is a pretty arduous process. It requires 30-day public notice. It also requires review and approval by the Plan Commission. I was not at that meeting. Jim, you sit on the commission.
The Plan Commission recommends the amendment to the comprehensive plan by unanimous vote.
Unanimous vote. And that was done about 2 weeks ago, I believe. So the matter at hand is coming in front of you tonight. I don't know that the applicants, I don't see the applicants. I think they appeared at the Plan Commission and spoke. So during the public hearing, that's the opportunity for you to acquire comment from the public, and following the public hearing, I think you would be free to consider the amendment via resolution.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, Tim. Any persons wishing to be heard, please come to the podium and state your name, address, and reason for appearing. Yes, sir.
Do I just come up there?
Sure,
All
please
right.
come to the podium.
All right. Sorry to be too chatty. I did have a couple of questions about this, though. That one is, how many acres does this encompass?
Well, in total, the 6 parcels, 100 acres. 100 acres.
100 acres. And if it's switched from planned neighborhood, which would to me be residential with some supporting commercial, to manufacturing, what potentially could go in there from a manufacturing standpoint, being that it's right next to the county fairgrounds?
Yep. I suppose that answer really involves what level of manufacturing ultimately zoning is asked for. Could be very light manufacturing, you'd be talking about light assembly uses, maybe some warehousing. If it were more of a medium industrial use, then you would have a little heavier use, but I think where the activity though is contained indoors and nothing happens on the exterior portions of the property. So it really would depend upon how the property is ultimately zoned. We have different levels or different categories of manufacturing.
Okay, but that hasn't been determined yet?
Nope, that's a whole separate process somewhere down the road. Yeah.
Okay, but this would set it down that path?
It would allow for it at some point in the future, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing no one else, I'll close the public hearing, and we'll move on to ordinance number 9-25. An ordinance to adopt amendments, to the City of Jefferson Comprehensive Plan. And for a second reading, Alderman Oberberger, please.
Thank you, Your Honor, members of the Common Council, citizens of Jefferson. The City Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin does ordain as follows. Whereas pursuant to section 61.35 and 62.23 subs 2 and 3 of WIS stats, the City of Jefferson is authorized to prepare and adopt a comprehensive plan as defined in section 66.1001 sub 1 sub A and 66.1001 sub 2 of the Wisconsin statutes. And whereas the City Council adopted its comprehensive plan in 2020 entitled City of Jefferson Comprehensive Plan, and whereas in accordance with section 66.1001 sub 4 sub A WIS stats, the City Council has further adopted the public participation procedures for amendments to the comprehensive plan, which establishes formal procedures to ensure meaningful public involvement in the consideration and adoption of amendments to the comprehensive plan. And whereas the Plan Commission of the City of Jefferson, by a majority vote of the entire commission recorded in its official minutes, has adopted a resolution recommending to the City Council the adoption of amendments to the future land use maps 6A and 6B, which involves changing the land use designation for 6 parcels. The proposed amendments to the maps are described in a map provided, copies of which are attached hereto and incorporated by reference herein as Exhibit A, which would be available for inspection from City Hall during normal business hours. Whereas the City of Jefferson has, in compliance with the requirements of section 66.1001 sub 4 sub D of the WIS stats, provided opportunities for public involvement per its adopted public participation plan. And whereas the City Council held a public hearing on the proposed amendments on October 7th, 2025, considered the public comments made and the recommendations of the Plan Commission and staff, and has determined to approve the recommended amendments. Now therefore, the City Council of Jefferson, Wisconsin does ordain that the proposed amendments are hereby adopted as amendments to the city's comprehensive plan pursuant to section 66.1001 sub 4 sub C WIS stats. I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Teeter. And a discussion. Questions or comments regarding the request?
What, is there, I guess, is there a definition of the amendment? What the Parks Commission definition? Excuse me, I was out of the country. Is there a final definition of the amendment? An official definition from the Parks and Rec?
I think from the Plan Commission,
That we're adopting here.
the Plan Commission,
I'm sorry, Plan Commission.
Yeah, the Plan Commission adopted by unanimous vote something identical or nearly identical to this resolution.
Okay.
This is what the Plan Commission recommended and
Okay.
endorsed.
Tim, it's my understanding these parcels, the owners of those parcels have made this specific request for this action, that these parcels be redesignated as manufactured. or potential manufacturing.
Yep, yes, you're correct. And so ultimately what will change in that master plan, which is a rather lengthy document, there is a map that has future land uses. That future land use map is the one that will be changed, and it will show these 6 parcels as general manufacturing instead of planned residential.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none.
Tim, and it's the property owners themselves who've made this initial request.
That's correct.
Any other questions or comments? That will call a question. All in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye as your name is called. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Tully.
Aye.
Fire. Aye. Niles. Aye. Holmberg.
Aye.
Stallman.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Teeter.
It's unanimous, thank you. Ordinance number, resolution number 50, tonight's consent agenda. Alderwoman Teeter.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, citizens of Jefferson, City Council members. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, the consent agenda for October 7, 2025 is hereby adopted. Vouchers payable for September payables in the amount of $935,824.09. Payroll summary for October 3rd, 2025 for the amount of $213,985.03. Council minutes from September 16, 2025 of the Common Council. And licenses that are approved by the Regulatory Committee included 2-year operators license, one for Fairview and one for Rock Bottom. Sales of goods in the ROW GMSA Beer Walk on October 10th. And the closure of the public ROA JMSA Beer Walk on October 10, 2025. I so moved.
It's been moved, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mackey. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say this the licenses were all approved at the regulatory.
Thank you. If there are no other questions or comments, all in favor of tonight's consent agenda, please signify by saying aye as your name is called.
Alderman Byer. Aye. Niles.
Aye.
Holmberg.
Aye.
Stallman.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
It's unanimous, thank you. Resolution number 51, a resolution authorizing the professional services contract with Town and Country Engineering for wastewater treatment plant design. Alderman Schrader, please.
Mr. Mayor, whereas the city Jefferson Water and Wastewater Utility will soon be submitting the wastewater facilities plan to the WIDNR, Wisconsin DNR. And whereas the Jefferson Water and Wastewater Utility has identified that it will be constructing a new wastewater treatment facility with existing and new industry, age of the existing plant, and cost analysis of building a new plant versus renovation of the existing plant, and other factors being taken into consideration, preliminary design of the new treatment plant facility should be undertaken. Now therefore be resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that it herein authorizes Town and Country Engineering to perform the work for a price not to exceed $350,000. And be it further resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson that the city administrator is herein authorized and directed to execute any contract or document associated with the above action on behalf of the City of Jefferson, following its review by the city attorney. I move approval.
It's been moved, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Niles. And discussion, this was brought forward earlier tonight at the Committee of the Whole. Todd, if you could please give a summary of where we are in the process and how this is a kind of a benchmark that allows us to proceed forward.
Sure, so as we're finalizing the plan, the facilities plan that will be brought to the city council, think in November is what our tentative timeline is for public hearing and at that time as well. That's kind of the first step that we need in performing, whether it's any modifications to the existing plant or building a new plant. What this really does is kind of narrows down processes, pieces of equipment, to try to narrow in costs on what the new plant could cost and allocation to what industry might be contributing to that and everything else. So this is just kind of a preliminary plan to kind of narrow down the scope of the overall plant, what we need, and to hopefully zero in a little bit more on overall cost.
Anyone have any questions of Todd?
Todd, it's my understanding from our conversations at Committee of the Whole that there's going to be some reach out to the neighborhood that would be immediately affected, some door-to-door, and then also some a public hearing eventually, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
And the meetings that will commence will be open public meetings for the deliberations on the size, cost, and scope of the plant upgrade, correct?
Correct.
Any questions?
This is at the current location? This isn't moving to a different? Correct.
Anyone else? Hearing no one, all in favor of approval of resolution number 51, please signify by saying aye as your name is called, and if you're opposed.
Alderman Niles.
Aye.
Hohenberger.
Aye.
Stallman.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Meyer. Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay, at this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Alderman Stallman. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And it's your honor as a newly seated alderperson. Okay, it's been moved and seconded by Alderman Mackey. On a voice vote, all in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are. Congratulations, brother.